Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. Let's unbox how we can build the Black family by building the Black child. Stick around. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. Hello, everyone. So glad to have you here today. I'm your host, Dr. Robert Davis, and we are talking about building the Black family. Do me a quick favor before we get started. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. That's right. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay. So for the past many weeks, we've been talking about, last 21 days, rather, we have been talking about building the Black family. We've specifically been looking at the various things that have happened across the history of America to try to destroy the Black family. Some of the things that were done very intentional by slave masters in order to gain a profit. Some things were done more institutionally by people who didn't really understand what they were doing, but rather were just perpetuating and continuing a system that was in place from the day that they were born. So whether someone shoots you on purpose or whether someone shoots you because they're a clumsy, bumbling fool, it doesn't make a difference when you got a big bullet hole sitting in the middle of your chest. All right, right now, Black America for the last 400 years has been sitting with a bullet hole sitting in the middle of their chest. And what we're dealing with an awful lot in today are individuals who claim that they are not racist. This is one of the things that's keeping the Black community from progressing, because we have individuals who say, I'm not racist, because we as African Americans, the media, as well as white America, has identified racists as being those people who run around talking about, white power, and spitting out all kind of racial epithets and go back to your country, monkey. And if you're not doing that, then of course, you're not seen as being a racist. But the damages that are done in the school system, the damages that are done in the criminal prosecution system, the damages that are done in the economic systems of our country are the same as if they were running around talking about, I can't stand you folk, go back to your country. It doesn't make a difference. The results are the same. One of the other things that we've talked about is about how the history of racism and brutality and segregation and discrimination in this country has impacted the Black family. And last night I talked about how much of Black parenting subconsciously revolves around survival. And now I want to tell you some personal story. I'm not going to keep you long, but I'm going to go into it. I have an African-American son who is now 16 years old. He's beginning to drive. And I've had the conversation with my son about when you're pulled over, about winding down the window, turning on the light inside of your car, the dome light, about, making sure that you're respectful to the police. And you ready for the sad reality? My son still might get shot. Because the truth of the matter is, no matter how nice you are, no matter how respectful you are, no matter whatever it is, Blacks are still getting shot by police. And the truth is, it doesn't make a difference what you do. It's really just kind of the flip of the coin, the luck of the draw. Now, I'm trying to minimize my son having negative interactions with police, but I recognize that police, from the day they enter into academy to the training that they receive when they're out on the streets, is basically the same thing: to target and to attack Black people. That's why police were formed in the first place, as slave patrols, and then into municipal police departments in the 1830s. And they continue to be in existence to keep Black bodies in their place. We do not want Black human beings to be outside of certain locations, and we need a paramilitary that is well armed in order to enforce that. And that's what policing has been for the last 200 plus years. All right. That is a reality. And because of that reality, listen very closely, my friends, because of that reality, there are certain anxieties that I experience as a parent. There are certain worries and fears and concerns and nervousness that I have when my Black son and my Black children are moving around in this world. And there are many ways that we try to manage that anxiety as Black parents. There are many ways that we try to manage that anxiety as Black parents. One of the ways that we do it is by restricting the movement of our children. One of the ways that we do it is obsessing. Similar to what I told you, I have even had the talk with my son. But oftentimes we obsess about, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other. And what happens in these situations is that too often, and I'm talking to myself as well as I'm talking to you, too often we move from giving cautious advice and wise advice to transferring our anxiety to our children. And don't get me wrong, there is a reason for this. I'm not criticizing or belittling any parent here today who wants to make sure that their children come home safe. And one of the ways, just like when zebras have conversations with their little children, they say, hey, listen, watch out for the lion. And this is what you do. When gazelles have conversations with their children, they say, watch out for the cheetah. And this is how you do it. So I'm not criticizing anyone for trying to make sure that their child comes home. That is just a part of natural survival instinct. But what I do want you to do, and I want to put this in your mind, and we're going to talk and explore it a little bit more, especially next week. I want you to begin thinking about how you feel as it relates to protecting your child, how you feel as it relates to ensuring the safety of your child. What are those emotions? I know for myself, some of the emotions that I feel is nervousness. It is fear. These are signals that are sent to me when I think about my son driving by himself, especially at night. These are the signals that are sent. So I want you to begin to think, what are the feelings that I have relative to my children being in this cold world, relative to them being in the education system, relative to my fear that they might get caught up in the criminal system, all of these things. Notice I didn't say get caught up as a criminal, but get caught up in the criminal system. There's a huge difference. And I want you to think about those feelings that you have as you're doing that, because one of the things we're going to try to do is we're going to try to figure out, and this is going to be something we're going to do together because I sure don't have all the answers. We're going to try to figure out, how do I use common sense to protect my child in this hostile, cruel, violent world? How do I help my children to navigate the economic, educational, and criminal systems that have been set up in order to entrap them, especially Black men? How do I do that without passing on or burdening my children with my own anxiety? I really wish I had all the answers, but I know this much. If we go on this exploration together, we can do it, because we've already done the first thing. We've begun to talk about it, and we've begun to think about it. And as G.I. Joe would say when I was a little boy, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. So now we know that we don't want to pass on our fears, our worries, and our anxieties to our children. And just that knowledge is going to help us to manage how we interact, how we educate, how we train, and how we help our children to live a full, complete life in this world. Let's go on this journey a little bit more together. Will you do that with me? All right, that's all I got to share today. That's it. Do me a favor, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. That's right, like, subscribe, and share. And we're going to get back together on Sunday. We'll talk more about building the Black family, building the Black child, and every other thing that affects the Black family. Let's continue to do that together. So glad you joined us. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Sunday evening.
Seasoned with Grace, Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.